More than smoke, cash in the trade with the truth we hold. Dark telling dark, real men talk about the weight on they souls. More than smoke, cash that light, but we don't hide when the days feel cold. More than smoke, we burn it down so we can build back hold. It's just more than smoke.
Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of More Than the Smoke, where status disappears but the smoke stays the same. I'm your host, Jamon. What's good? What's happening? It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. I'm trying to get this episode done early, and hope you're having an awesome day. Not sure. Trying to make sure my shirt is all right. All right. Yeah, hope you're having an awesome day. Want to get this done early so I can continue to enjoy the rest of my Sunday. I have a cigar here. I know what it was. Trying to see what episode this is, episode session. So give me 1 second here. 1 second here. All right, this is going to be episode 11, session 10. I am smoking. So yeah, let's get right into it. I have a cigar here. I'm smoking for the first time. I've seen it advertised. I've seen it mentioned on YouTube. YouTube videos, cigar content creators that I follow, but I'm going to be smoking it for the first time, and I'm looking forward to enjoying it. This is, for many who may know, I'm smoking the Jaime, if I can get this thing to focus. Ooh, maybe it's the lighting. There we go. The Jaime Garcia Reserve Especial. I believe this is a 6. I don't know. I think this is a 660. I was trying to find it differently. Let me see. Nope. Yeah. I'm looking on some notes here. Give me a second. I believe this is the... I don't think it's the 770. I think this is a 650. This might be like a 654. Maybe they don't make them in that, so I could be talking out the side of my neck here. Let me see, 5.2, 6. Yeah, this might be a 654. It's either a 654 or a 660. The 50 to 60 is my range. Rain gauges that I like. And so that's what I'm going to be smoking on here. Again, I've never had this cigar before. I'm taking off my band because I plan to write on the back of it. Write my notes, what reflections I may have while I'm smoking it. It's the whole experience. You ain't got a lot of room to write on there, but I'll write the date. I always write the date at the top. How I do mines, I write the date. I write, I'll say either at home, in that I smoke to here at home, or I will, put on the back of there wherever I was. Maybe I'm at my favorite cigar lounge, Cigar City Club, in Sandy Springs, Georgia. wherever I'm at. That's what I put on there. And then I'll write a couple other notes on there, and write a couple more notes on there. What I may have tasted, you know what I'm saying, in terms of, chocolate, whatever, cedar, whatever it is. And then if I should have a reflection, maybe, while I'm smoking this stick, I had a reflection or whatever. Then I'll also notate that on the back of the band. I keep all my bands. If you have come across this channel and watched any of the previous videos, I've talked about that. I believe that cigars tell stories. What you bring to a cigar, sometimes, for the most part, what you bring to a cigar is what you get out of it. And so I'm looking forward to smoking this Jaime. I saw a note. It said how it's pronounced. I guess some people would say Jaime. I know I did when I first saw it. I said Jaime, and it's pronounced Jaime, H-I-M-A-Y. Okay, Jaime Garcia. Looking forward to smoking this. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. I'm cutting this with a straight cut. I have my palette. I talked about this. So let me just say this. Right now, this is cigar content. Everything I'm talking about right now is cigar content. And then I'm gonna get into what the topic is. And if you watch the previous episode, which would have been episode 10, session 9, I talked a little bit about what the next episode, which is today, this episode would be about. And so we're going to get into that. Anyway, back to this cigar, little cigar content here. My palate has changed. My palate has evolved. I thought at one point, when I first started smoking cigars, that I would always, smoke the Connecticut's. Think about your first time when you smoked cigars, and maybe you started off with a full body, or a medium body or whatever. I started off with mild and medium, and I, for a little while, didn't think my palate would change. I thought that's what I'll always smoke. But my palate has evolved over time, in that I don't know why that just did that. There we go. My palate has evolved over time, in that sidebar, I'm working from my iPhone, and I am not that efficient with this thing, so I don't know what this, oh Lord, go away. I don't know what I just did here. Anyway, I don't know what it's doing. Okay, I ain't gonna worry about it. I hope it still comes out, the way I need it to. My palate has evolved, and I went from mild to medium full. When I first started out, I'm coming up on a year this year. Later on this year, it'll be a year that I seriously got into smoking cigars, right? Previous to that, it was a desire. I just didn't know how to work it into my life. Excuse me. And so I'm coming up on a year, and like I said, my palate has changed. I could not, when I first started out, I could not handle pepper forward cigars or cigars with pepper. I just couldn't do it. But obviously, over time, my palate has changed. It has evolved, and now I can handle cigars with pepper or spice. Whether that's bread spice or whatever. So that's what a lot of the cigars that I go for. I go for Maduros. I purchase, I on purpose, intentionally, I'll purchase Maduros, cigars, because I've come to understand that just because it's dark doesn't mean it's strong, or that the dark colored cigar does not determine, or it's not an indicator that the cigar is strong. And so and then thank goodness for the internet. It can easily just pull it up on Google, and it tells me something, or even ChatGPT will tell me the profile makeup of a cigar, and I can go from that. So there may be those of you who have smoked this cigar before. Love to hear your thoughts in the comments in terms of what your experience was, and how you enjoyed it, or whether or not you enjoyed it. So I got some. My notes are coming. These notes are coming from ChatGPT. They may be accurate. They may be a little off. But core notes of this cigar is dark chocolate cocoa, espresso coffee. I am pairing mine with a coffee. What is this? A coffee and some not cream or whatever, but latte. I think it's latte espresso or something like that. So this is going to be right up the alley of this cigar. The other additional core notes are earth, cedar, and wood. Supporting notes will be maybe, because everybody's palate is different, right? So supporting notes may be leather, roasted nuts, hazelnut, dark fruit sometimes, cream, light in the background. Spice layer says black pepper, present but not always dominant, and it says baking spice, cinnamon, nutmeg feels sometimes. And then because ChatGPT knows what kind of cigars I like, it just says important for me is this is not a pepper bomb like some My Father cigars. The smoke texture, which is what I really love, what I really enjoy, is thick, dense, and heavy. So for me, this checks the box. What it says, this checks my box. It's rich, full smoke output, full or sit with it texture. So again, that's just some small notes there in terms of what ChatGPT knows about how I like my cigars, or the kind of cigars that I like to smoke. So I'm really then looking forward to this cigar and stuff. So let me get into that. Let me cut this. That's what I was getting at. Actually, that's what I was alluding to, with the fact that because my palate has changed. What has also changed or evolved is I'm not cutting the last few sticks that I've smoked. My favorite cutter was a V cut. I've graduated. Now I'm at the straight cut. So I'm kind of in the group, or in the club with a lot of other people who use the straight cut. And I'm getting better at it. That's one of the other, or say one of the reasons why I'm using the straight cut more, is because I'm trying to get good or efficient at cutting my cigars with the straight cut. So I'm still learning. But yeah, I've started to cut a lot of my sticks with with the straight cut. So give me a sec here. Yeah, see this? All right, so this is gonna be in real time. This is gonna be in real time. I'm going to show this. Okay, so whether or not you can see that or not, all right, this is what I'm learning. This is in real time. This is why I'm using this the straight cut, because I'm not always successful at cutting it, right? Okay, so here is the cap, and I would love for you who will come across this this video to leave some notes in the comments on your experience. All right, so here's the cap, right? Here's the cap. That can be seen. Here's the cap, right? There's the cap. I'm still learning. Again, I'm still learning in real time how far down to go. Now, I would say that's good. I didn't go down there, right? I didn't go all the way down there. So, although I do see some potential unravel, I'm gonna just smoke on this and we'll see. And I'm right there. There's that little unravel there, but I'm not going to even worry about it. I'm gonna just smoke on it and see what the experience is. The draw is beautiful, very clean. All right. So where's my lighter? All right. So yeah, I'm gonna light this up. Yeah, I'm still learning. That's one of the reasons why I'm fooling with the guillotine cut, the straight cut, is because I want to get better at it. The V cut is V cut. You know what I'm saying? But the straight cut makes me feel like, you know, you really in the family. You know what I'm saying? You really about that cigar culture life. If you can fool with that straight cut. All right, so I'm gonna light this up. Later on here, I'm gonna invest in a better cutter and a better torch. I've had this torch for a couple of years now. I had the torch before, had purchased the torch before I got the torch before I really got into the before I got into the culture, the cigar culture. I had the torch. That's nice. That's nice. The ChatGPT goes on to share what could be one's experience with the first third, second third, and the final third. So first third, earth plus espresso, light pepper, cocoa starting the show. We shall see. All right, I'm gonna be honest and say I don't want to be on here too long. So, today's topic is about. I said in the last episode, I talked a little bit about It was in that this next episode was gonna be titled Health Over Hobby. Health over hobby. So that's what I'm talking about right now. I want to talk a little bit about that. And like I said, I don't want to go too long because I want to enjoy the rest of my day. You know what I'm saying? I want to enjoy the rest of my Sunday weekend, and then get into what this week is going to be about. Oh Lord. Okay, let me be careful. Trying to be careful I don't pull this wrapper off, but anyway, we'll see. So yes, health over hobby. The hobby refers to cigars, and obviously my health. Refers to my like and enjoyment. I'm sorry. The hobby is my like and enjoyment of cigars. The health refers to that of, just having good health. I got high blood pressure and wanting to come off some of my medications. I actually take 3, but I take 2. There's 2 medications in 1 tablet. So I take 2 tablets, but like I said, 2 medications in 1. Anyway, at some point here, I want to come off one of those medications. You know what I'm saying? I want to come off one of those medications. And in order to do that, real talk, as much, I'm not even gonna say as much as I didn't want to, because it wasn't about that. But I said health over hobby, right? When I first was really, thinking about that, I'll be honest and say I had the wrong attitude. I had the wrong attitude. I was smoking, in a week's time, I might smoke 3 cigars. That's including the weekend. For the whole week, I might smoke 3 cigars. Well, I mean, obviously there are those who've been smoking way longer than me who then smoke more cigars, right? In a week's time. But I decided, once I realized that my attitude was wrong, in that I was going to choose the hobby over my health, and I had to get checked on that. Like, bruh, that's the wrong direction. It should be your health over your hobby. Already my company charges me. I say it's like a penalty, all right? It's called, I don't know. There's a term for it, but I don't know what it is. Anyway, there's like a tobacco. I think it's like a tobacco cessation. I might have that term wrong. You know what? Let me find out. Let me find out. Hold on. I'm going to Google. What is a tobacco cessation? Yeah. Okay, I had it right. All right, I had it right. Okay, so my company, I say it's a penalty, charges me $100 a month, right? Tobacco cessation. Here's the definition. Tobacco cessation is the process of stopping the use of tobacco products such as cigarettes, cigars, and smokeless tobacco. It involves overcoming nicotine addiction through methods like counseling, behavioral therapy, and medications. I'll just stop right there. So my company charges me a penalty, $25 a week. It doesn't matter to my company. If I smoke one cigar, it's one cigar is the same as if I smoke 15 cigarettes or a pack of cigarettes, or one cigar to them could equal 50 cigars. It doesn't matter. One cigar, and they're gonna charge you, and so they charge me like $100 a month. And they would rather, obviously, that, you quit, and find another hobby, something better than that. But what I always say for now is, I know why I got into cigars. You know what I'm saying? It was a conscious choice, and I do taste that slight sweet. I think that was one of the notes. There was some slight sweet in there, something sweet in there. I'm trying to go back over it. Yeah, it says broadleaf. Translation was broadleaf, dark, rich, slightly sweet. I'm tasting some slightly sweetness. Now, my coffee, I took one sip of my coffee. It could have something to do with the coffee. I think sometimes it does. To say that it will enhance, your pairing will enhance what you may get, what notes you may detect from the cigar. So I don't know. That could be it. Anyway, so yeah, $100 a month, $25 a week. They rather I quit. But I always remember why I got into cigars. And that's not necessarily, it's something I'll talk about in this video, but I always remember why I got into cigars. And so where then the cutback or the pushback sort of happened was I still want to smoke cigars. My doctor has suggested, hey, you might want to quit. No, I don't want to quit. So what I try to do is change my approach to smoking cigars, right? In that, whereas I was smoking, like I said, 3 at the most, 3 cigars, in the week, maybe 1 during the week, and then I'll smoke 2 on the weekend. That literally could be on Saturday I'll smoke 1, and then on Sunday I'll smoke 1, something like that. Instead of me doing, like I said, 3 cigars in a week, I said I would cut it back to 1. It might be 1 cigar, or it might be 2. I might cut it back. I cut it back to 2. 2 cigars within the week. So I'm trying to be intentional, right? I'm trying to be intentional on when I smoke, right? And then I said it was the whole health over hobby. Where the health part came in was, I want to lose some weight. That's what really this is also about as well, is that I want to lose some weight. I've been maintaining 250 pounds for a long time. I'm not saying that that's good. I'm not necessarily saying that that's bad. Doctors or, medical professionals would say that's considered obese. You're considered obese, whatever. And my attitude in the way in which the tone of my voice right now that I'm talking about, in the way that I'm talking is not to be taken as, oh, he's not taking this serious. No, I am. So I cut back to two. I said, well, I might do two, right? And who knows? I might cut back to even one a week. What I've realized is if I was to cut back to one cigar a week, in a sense, right? I got enough right now. They're slowly dwindling, but I have enough cigars to where hold on, something's not right. Hold on a second. Why is this not playing? You know what? It doesn't matter. Let me just. I thought I had my TV playing in the background, but nothing's playing on it, so it's all good. Anyway, I got enough cigars to where if I was to smoke a cigarette, if I cut back, not to say I am going to, but if I got down, got it to where I wanted to smoke I could, smoke a cigar, smoke one cigar a month, right? This is my approach, right? This is my approach, that how I figured I would approach it. One sec. I'm gonna see how far I can get that hash ring to go back. You'll check back in a minute here. I said I could smoke, if I decided to smoke one cigar a month. I have enough cigars. Technically, I have enough cigars for like a whole year and a half. If I did that. I don't think I'm going to do that. But anyway, so I chose health over hobby. And I just want to talk about, what I'm alluding to try to talk about is how that's going, how that's been going. I went from 250 pounds down to about 238 pounds. But I think that loss of weight was water weight. Try to speed this up a little bit. What I did was I said, one of my statements a little while ago was that I've been maintaining 250 pounds for a long time, for some years. Not saying that that's good or bad or whatever. And what I found, through some research, I found that 2,300 calories keeps me at 250 pounds. So I start hearing this topic of caloric deficit. If you eat at a caloric deficit, that will allow you to lose weight. So anything below, anything less than 2,300 calories, right? And if I'm eating the right foods, that's the trial and error that I'm experiencing right now. The trial and error is my goal, my range was 1,700 to 1,800, maybe a little bit over, so maybe even 1,900 calories, right, a day. So here's what I did. I was trying to save money, right? Or like I don't cook like some people do. I don't cook like some people do throughout the week and stuff. I'm a truck driver, so I drive at night, sleep in the day. So what I was doing was, which I got to get back to. That's the update. I got to get back to it because I lost a couple of days. I don't know what's gonna happen when this video comes out. If someone sees that QT cup there, that's what I'm drinking my coffee in. I don't know if that's gonna be copyright infringement. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't affect me, or it won't, be counted against me. Anyway, that's my coffee. But maybe here's what I can do. Give me 1 second. Be right back. All right, we're back. Got to reposition it. So now all you see is this. You don't see actually, the name or whatever. So what I was doing was, I went and I would buy 2 vegetable bowls or chicken bowls from Chipotle. What I realized is that I could break them down, right? Break them down and put them in these meal prep bowls, and I could take 2 either chicken bowls or vegetable bowls or veggie bowls, whatever you want to call them, and I could break them down into those meal prep bowls at something like 2 bowls would get me something like 6. I could take 2 bowls and break them down into 6 bowls, 6 of those meal prep bowls. And I thought, I was doing something with that. I did. I thought I was doing something with that. I was calling it 275 calories, whether it was a veggie bowl or even a chicken bowl. And for about 2 weeks or so, that's what I was doing. I would do a veggie bowl, like on the afternoon before I go to sleep for work, right? And then I would take me a veggie bowl for the next day, right? I was trying to operate out of a caloric deficit of something like 1,800 calories. Like I said, or less, 17 to 18, a little less sometimes of 17, and maybe a little more of 18. That it might be 18 or 1,900 calories, whatever. Boy, I'm trying not to mess with this thing too much. And I take me a bowl for the next day, right? I try to eat a small breakfast at the hotel, and then a couple hours from there, I would eat this other bowl, right? And it was like a cup and a half. I found that I could do 5 bowls. I could do 5 meal prep bowls, a cup and a half of whether it was a veggie bowl or a chicken bowl into one of those bowls. And I call that 275 calories. And 275 calories, and I would take me a protein shake. Right, so I would do this protein shake at night before I went to work, and then I would take a protein shake, put it in a container for the next day. I was just trying to be consistent. That's all I was trying to do. I was trying to be consistent. What I was doing at home, I was trying to do on the road, and then I bought me some apples. I like the crisp apples from. I believe I got the crisp apples at Publix. Really like those crisp apples. Those things are so good. I never was one as a child to eat red apples. When I was a child, they didn't have these organic ones that they have now and all that kind of stuff. Um, check out that ring is getting a little longer. We're gonna see. Hopefully it don't fall over. But anyway, so I would take these apples and then I'll try to take water. I said I needed to increase my water intake. So I'll be trying to smoke. I'm trying to drink like 4 to 5 bottles of water, right? And I basically, again, I was trying to do what I was doing at home. I was trying to do away while I was at work. What I experienced, this was just literally last week, right? Like a week and a half ago. I started to kind of feel dizzy. And I experienced this kind of dizziness on my way to work. And then I experienced it while I was, on the road. And I was thinking like, okay, like what's that all about, right? And did some Google research of, what can cause, dizziness, or can a person operating out of a caloric deficit experience dizziness? And the answers that I came across was, short answer was yes. And it could be due to you not getting the appropriate nutrients or not eating a balanced meal that can cause a person to experience dizziness or nausea, all this kind of stuff. So I honestly thought, okay, I got to go back to eating the way I was before, because and find another approach. Either that I'm going to continue purchasing these Chipotle bowls, right, or go another route and just try to eat less of what I tend to eat. Like today, I went to I hadn't been to my Indian spot in the last couple of weeks. I'd say it's been over a month. Yeah, I would say it's been over a month since I had been to my Indian spot. So today I went to my Indian spot and got something to eat, and the bowls that I have left, I'm going to go ahead and throw them away just because I just feel like that they're old. They're from last week. And the approach going forward is I'll keep buying the apples. Actually need to buy me some more apples. I'll keep buying the apples, and I don't know, I'm just going to try another route, right? To me, I'm thinking that it was because I wasn't eating balanced meals. So that's where the dizziness was coming from. Since returning to the way I was eating before, and not fully the way that I was eating before, right? I've not had any of those, dizzy spells or whatever. So I got to go another route. That's really the update. I'm going to try a different approach. And that approach is just eating less of what I usually eat, of whatever I eat, but also trying to incorporate the right kind of food. So, vegetables, greenage, green leafy, leafy greens. I bought some ground beef like last week or whatever. So, and they're in 1 pound containers. So maybe do take a pound of ground beef, brown that with maybe some noodles or something like that. Something. Man, look, whole like real talk is like, do I fully know what I'm doing? No, but I'm trying to do the best that I can. Hence the title, Health Over Hobby, right? Cocoa notes are coming in. I'm still in the first third. Cocoa notes are coming in. Again, it could have something to do with the coffee. Something I've said before in the previous videos was what determines the length of this video is how long it takes me to smoke the cigar. But that's not the case today. I mean, hey, I'm just talking, I'm sharing, and hopefully I've said something that, you know, is entertaining. So yeah, I got to try a different approach. Because overall I want to lose weight. I got this gut here. I'm trying to lose it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I want to lose some weight. I want to see some I want to see some results. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna try a different approach. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this because it's probably gonna fall off. Yeah, it's probably gonna fall off. Yeah, it's probably close. Anyway, I'm gonna try a different approach. Keep my water intake going, in that I gotta drink more water, as well as long as along with taking my medication daily. I walk, right? So I take these shoes with me when I go to work, and I walk 1 to 2 miles. You know, get 4 or 5 thousand steps. So I'm trying to do that to get my body moving. You know what I'm saying? And at some point, do a little bit more. But the goal is to lose some weight. And later on, be able to come off these, one of my medications. And I'm not smoking 3 and 4. I don't smoke 4, but like I said, I'm not smoking 3 cigars a week. You know, I've cut it down to 2. I learned the hard way not to smoke a cigar prior to going to bed, right? I didn't enjoy that. It just didn't sit well with me afterwards. I think it was hard for me to sleep. I only did this one time, some time back, about 2-3 months ago or whatever. I did that, and I was like, yeah, I won't be doing that again. I think it was hard for me to wind down. It took me a little longer to fall asleep. So I don't do that, but what I have been intentional, right, in saying is that when I do smoke, I may smoke on a Friday morning, right, in transition to the weekend, right? I might, not all the time, but I might smoke on a Friday morning, right, when I get home. And then surely, definitely, on the weekend, I'm gonna smoke 2. 1 on Saturday and then 1 on Sunday. So, and then I am trying to stay consistent in doing these blood pressure readings, notating them, daily. Just trying to take better care of myself. So that's really the gist of, this video's health over hobby. I changed my attitude, right? In that I didn't choose the hobby over my health. I chose my health over my hobby. And I got some things in place, right, that I'm doing. I could be doing a whole lot better and can do a whole lot better and intend to do a little bit better. But in showing myself some grace, I'm trying something, or I have something in place, and so I'm going to be consistent with that. Like I said, I got to approach this from a different perspective on how to eat less than 2,300 calories and over time be able to lose some more weight. Man, if I can lose, the 50, I can lose the 50 pounds down and get it down to 200. One, I know I'm going to feel better, right? I'm going to feel better, and I'm going to look better in my clothes. You know what I'm saying? So just showing myself some grace and doing that. I'm going to get ready to wrap it up here. I'm going to continue to enjoy this stick. I'm still in the first third. Haven't even really gotten to the middle. I've enjoyed this cigar so far. I'm tasting, like I said, the chocolate cocoa notes. What else? I don't know if I haven't gotten any leather. Light pepper, maybe light pepper. But I've enjoyed it. Let me say this about my experience with cigars and how I sometimes rate them, right? Depending on if I'm enjoying my way of enjoying a cigar is that thick, dense smoke. So I'm definitely experiencing that. And so I like that, right? If I, depending on my experience with the cigar, if I'm enjoying it, right, then I'm committed to it. I'm gonna smoke it down to, where I can't smoke it no more. Whether that's down to the nub or whatever, I'm gonna smoke it down to where, I can't smoke it anymore or whatever. Humidor worthy, for me, there's humidor worthy cigars, and then there are box worthy cigars. This, so far, I'm not saying this is a box. It's not a box worthy cigar for me. Not necessarily saying it's a humidor worthy cigar. Humidor worthy cigar for me is means I will purchase a minimum of 5 cigars. So if I find that this is, if I end up saying that this is, in terms of my experiencing it, right, as I finish it out, and I say, yeah, this is humidor worthy. What that means to me is I will purchase a minimum of 5 to 10 sticks. That's humidor worthy, to keep in my humidor. If a cigar obviously is box worthy, that means I'm gonna buy a whole box. So I'm not saying that this is definitely not box worthy. It could become a humidor worthy cigar, in that I am enjoying it. I really am definitely enjoying it. I have a 13-point rating system, criteria, or whatever you want to call it, that I rate my cigars. I'm looking at the time, it's like 53 minutes. I didn't want to be on here that long. So I'm definitely enjoying it. And this is in regards to the notes that I'll put on the back of the band. Definitely enjoyed it. Will purchase, or will definitely purchase again is a cigar that was really, really good. This is simply a WPA, will purchase again. I will definitely purchase this cigar again. And between right now where I am with it, this is where I am with it, right? Slowly but surely coming out of the first third, going into the middle third. Well, actually not. I'm still just slightly coming out of the first third. it'll go into my humidor, and I'll keep them on, keep some on hand. So yeah, like I said, going to get ready to wrap this up. Hopefully the next update on, if not the next video, maybe the video after that, I'll come back and talk a little bit, give another update to health over hobby part 2. Maybe I'll say this is health over hobby part 1, and the next time I talk about it, it'll be health over hobby part 2, and I'll give an update as to how things are going, what I did. Either I'm still wanting to operate from a caloric deficit, and see where I end up with that. See where I end up with that, how much weight I lose. I'm not weighing myself every week or nothing like that, but I definitely want to, see some results in that. This has been More Than the Smoke, where status disappears, but the smoke stays the same. And I've been your host, Jaman. Hopefully I've said something. I don't know. Today's topic was just for entertainment purposes only. I am not I'm no professional in anything. So I'm not giving out any, medical advice. I'm not giving out any legal advice. I'm not giving out any financial advice, because I'm not an expert in any of those. Today's content was for entertainment purposes only. I've been smoking a Jaime Garcia Reserve Especial cigar. I believe this is a 660. I paired it with a coffee from my favorite gas station, QT, and it's coffee and latte espresso, I think, something like that, mixed in. That's what I paired it with, and I've enjoyed it, so far. Usually, as I have said before, what determines the length of the episode is how long it takes me to smoke the cigar. But today it's not that. It's not about that. I want to enjoy the rest of my day, so I wanted to come on here, talk about what I was going to talk about, and then get off of here. If you like this content, my hope is that you will like, share, and subscribe, and share this video with someone else you may know who will like this kind of this content. I'm trying to wrap it up so I can get off of here. Hopefully you will continue to enjoy your day, enjoy the rest of the weekend, wherever you may find yourself, however you came to find this content, that you will be safe, and that you will continue to enjoy your day. My goal is to create a video once a week. So put out content once a week, and so hit the notification bell, so that you will be notified when new content or new videos come out. At the making of this video, to be honest, and it's just telling the truth, the channel still has not gone public. Still working on it. Still working on it. Still working on it. Adding descriptions, and got the music in there, got the disclaimer and all that kind of stuff. I just need to put add the descriptions for each video, right? And then go ahead and make the channel public, and then just start making video after video, going forward. each week, whether that's in the middle of the week or at the end of the week, right, on the weekend. So usually on a Saturday or a Sunday is when I'm trying to put a video out. My goal is to be consistent. What I've done so far is I have about 8. This will be like my 9th or 10th video. The goal is to create momentum, right? So by the time the channel goes public, you know, I got something like 9 or 10 videos that anybody can watch. And then if you're enjoying the content, you come back every week and there will be a video going forward. But I wanted to create a sense of momentum and consistency in creating these videos, that I'll have so many, in a sense, that all I got to do is create 1 or 2 a week, you know, to add and everything. And, you know, I have used ChatGPT to help me to learn how to do CapCut, how to, you know, create the videos in CapCut, and then how to add the videos into YouTube Studio, you know, and then add them to the YouTube channel. So I'm still learning that as well, and I'm proud of myself. I've come far. I'm thinking if it's the Lord's will, next week's topic, or even this week, I might go ahead and do one even this week. A topic that I'm going to talk about the title is going to be Know When to Pivot. Know when to pivot. Just talking a little bit about what the next episode is going to be about, right? The next, I don't know, the topic of discussion. Know when to pivot. I have been experiencing something with somebody, a former professional. I'm being vague on purpose. I'm being vague on purpose because when I talk about it, then, you know, that's when I'll talk about it. But anyway, know when to pivot is I think that's going to be my next topic, is know when to pivot. When to, and what that kind of speaks to is you knowing when it's time to part ways with people in your life, knowing when to you know, go in another direction. You know, if the relationship, situationship, whatever, friendship that you've been in with someone is not healthy for you. And I've been experiencing something for over a year now that I want to talk about. And it's been very disturbing for me. It's been challenging. Let me put it that way. It's been very challenging for me. And so I want to talk about that in the next episode. Knowing when to pivot. That's going to be, I'm going to write that down in my notes so I know exactly. Yep, that's what's going to be the next week's episode. It is May 1st. No, today's not May 1st. Today it's May 3rd. It's May 3rd. And if it's the Lord's will, next month is my birthday. Next month is my birthday. I turned 55. And, you know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be alive. You know what I'm saying? Come so far in all of the different things that I have been through. And so I'll be on vacation. Not sure where I'm going, but I'm going somewhere. Whether that means I get in my car and drive to, I don't know, North Carolina, South Carolina, I don't know. But I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to enjoy myself. But yeah, knowing when to pivot is going to be the next episode, and I'll talk a little bit about that in terms of how this this pivot in my life with this individual, how it's been affecting me, and I don't know. That's what I'm going to talk about. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. This has been, just for entertainment purposes. This is my journey in life. Cigars is a part of my journey in life. When I got serious about smoking cigars, and I went to my first cigar lounge, it took a lot out of me to do that. I was spending a lot of time at home, here at my apartment, and I wasn't getting out. It was like I was antisocial. I went to my first cigar lounge, which was Cigar City Club here in Sandy Springs, and I broke a pattern. That was me breaking a pattern in my life, going from being antisocial to being social. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where my journey with cigars started, and it has continued, and that's why I do what I do at this point. So again, hopefully something I've said has been, I don't know, if it's been encouraging, if this has been encouraging in some kind of way, awesome. Again, other than that, it's just for entertainment purposes. Next episode will be an episode of encouragement, and hopefully you will join me. With that, I'm gonna sign off and say have an awesome day at whatever time that you may have come on to this episode. Have an awesome day. Have an awesome weekend. Be safe. And hopefully you will join me next time. Again, this has been More Than the Smoke, where status disappears but the smoke stays the same. I've been your host, Jamon. Have an awesome day. Peace.